Gave you a little hemp stick, so you should mellow on out. All right, make sure. Oops, mute. All right, what up though, y'all? We are live for what up though Fridays. Today's topic is renovating fire damaged properties. I know I'm probably gonna end up talking about the land bank stuff too with my post. That's I think I got like almost 10,000 views on that video, which is funny, but you know whatever. I don't really care. It was all entertainment to me. But yeah, that's today's topics. Church announcements. I think I am gonna do Detroit real estate weekend. I just gotta figure out where I'm gonna have it at yet. So the link for sale for that will probably be probably sometime next month. I'll probably have it at the same hotel because the Aloft was pretty dope. It's gonna be the same small amount, no more than 30, 40 people. VIP would be the same, like 10 people or less. I like small amounts. Um, the ticket price probably gonna be around the same if I do hotel included and stuff, or I might just do VIP and everybody get their own hotel. I might do that this year, and then that be that. So I might do that. Trying to see what else. Church announcements. That's all I got going on. I'm finally about to start my podcast, so that should be launching hopefully this summer. I should have my course done this summer. That's the goal. So I think that's it. But I think that's all my announcements. Yeah, I think that's it. I ain't got no other events coming up. I don't have no speaking events coming up. I did speak at a big business event last month. He had a women's only event. Well, this month it was like early in March in Philly, and that was really dope. Like that was a really dope turnout. Had a lot of people interested in investing in Detroit with me after that, so that was pretty awesome sauce. But all right, we about to get into this topic. If you're on YouTube, I'm about to share my screen. Hawkeye, you have to chill out with that, bro. Let me see. All right, share screen. If y'all got any questions, put them in the comments or in the Q&A thing, and then I'll go back, and read them later on. So, I've done a couple fire damage houses. Fire damage houses are cheap or cheaper because they are fire damage. If you are trying to get around pulling permits, do not buy I don't recommend that at all, but definitely don't buy a fire damage house because when a house has a fire, I can't speak for other places, but I know in Metro Detroit, when they have fires, the fire department sends a notice to the city building department, and they are aware that it was a fire. So I've had clients in the past purchase apartment buildings that had a fire. Now they didn't know because the person who owned it just covered it up and then pulled permits. So once they purchased the property, now the city is putting stop work orders on their current property, and then they got to go through a lawsuit with the previous owner because you knew you had a dang on fire and you still sold the property. Like case in point, I finished the house towards the end of the year last year. Well, actually, we just did the roof. The rehab for the house was around 85,000, but it ended up becoming like 115, 120. Once I gutted the upstairs bungalow and we discovered it was a fire. The video is on my page, so you just got to scroll down for it. And we discovered it was a fire. So I learned something new on that house when people want to seal a fire smell, because you'll smell like, especially if a house been sitting vacant, is cold, you gonna smell like a fire, like smoky smell. And I didn't smell anything. So they covered the house with plywood, like pre-treated plywood, which sealed the smell of the fire. Now I only had to gut the upstairs and the two back rooms because it was plywood there. And I'm like, you can't have plywood on the wall. We'll just take this down, make sure it's insulated properly. If not, insulate and drywall. Once we took it down, I discovered it was a fire. All the rafters were smoke, ashy gray, and cut and damaged. So we had to reframe all of that. The two back rooms on the first floor, the back wall had a fire because it looked like it started in those rooms and went up and just spread. And then they covered that, and then they put a little fake window in there that wasn't nobody cold. So we took that out and whoop de whoop, fixed it. We took care of it before, but it was a shock to me. Like I wasn't expecting to see that when I gutted these walls. But this is Detroit. I'm not surprised by nothing no more. It is what it is. So she bought that house from me. It was a wholesale deal. It was 25,000 for the house plus my $10,000 wholesale fee slash more like a consultant fee. Like I help clients find properties in up and coming gentrified areas or areas that are in the process of being gentrified, but it hasn't like hit yet. So she bought right. She bought in 48224. It's actually a half a mile from my big orange flip, so it's still in Morningside. So she bought right. It's all brick, beautiful house, 3 bedrooms, 1 full bath, nice big basement. They tore down the garage, so she can either build one later. And then it had a extension, like a screened in porch on the back of the house. So we all that was burnt. So either I think the fire actually started there because it had knob and tube in there, and the fire probably started from the knob and tube because all the wires was like burnt, just hanging. So we cut all that out, and there was still some live wires in there. So the electricians had to come get all those dead wires out, redo whatever to the old panel, and then we'll probably start on that house for her in the summer because we doing some other projects for her now. But hold on, one question. What makes a fire damage repair different from a regular? It's more money. So what insurance if you doing it okay, so if you using insurance on a fire damage rehab, the insurance company also notifies the city, and then the city, at least Detroit, or Wayne County but for sure Detroit, they make the insurance or either the homeowner, I'm not sure who, but somebody has to put money into a fire escrow. And sometimes the fire escrow is what pays the contractor and draw payments as they pull their permits and pass certain inspections along the way. So that makes it cost more because now I got to wait longer to get my money or front the job damn near before I can get my first draw payment. That's one. Uh, Another way of making it is damage. You got to replace everything. So whatever burnt has to come out if it's more than a standard charge. So standard charge is like I could brush up against and just a couple flakes of burnt stuff come off. But if it's charged to where I'm scraping it and now the wood is coming with it, all that got to get replaced. So typically that's your rafters, which is the load that carries the load to your house, your structure. So your roof is like this, the trusses and stuff, the rafters, all they gotta get replaced if it's burnt. The subfloor got to get replaced. The joists under the subfloor got to get replaced. You know, joists and rafters go by the span or linear foot, so it's per foot. The fire damaged house from hell that I've been in since August. This fire started in the basement from I think it was like some workout equipment or something. I forgot. But so I've been at this house October 2021. I didn't start this house till August 2020. No, we started demo and because the insurance at least this carrier, they approved everything in phases. So this is damn near with all the change orders. It's probably like a 500 some $1,000 rehab easy because of all the change orders that he's had and all the stuff we had to do. Trying to see what it. So we did the demo first. That was earlier in 2022. So they approved demo. All right, cool. We cleared a clean out and demo. That was like 30 something thousand or 40 something to do that, right? Because the dumpsters, I think we used like 20, 22 dumpsters, 20, 22, 30 yards. Because remember, we got to clean out all the furniture and clothes. That's one. And then all Detroit old houses got plaster. Plaster is heavy. So if you get an estimate from me and you see an ass load of dumpsters, it's because one, you can't fill a dumpster to capacity because you're just going to make you over tonnage. Because most dumpsters only include up to 4 tons, depending on what side. Like I think a 30, 40 yard in Detroit gonna include like maybe up to 6 tons. Anything over a ton is whatever per ton, like $50 or whatever it is. That junk add up. So plaster is heavy. So I know automatically that every time I gut a house, that my dumpsters are going to be over tonnage because plaster weighs way more than drywall. And then the old floors, they use concrete to put the tile in. So when you bust that up, that's making your dumpster heavier. When you cut out them old big ass cast iron tubs, those are heavy. It makes the dumpster cost more. So I might use 25 dumpsters, but I'm gonna charge you for 30 dumpsters because those extra 5 dumpsters is gonna be to cover the cost of my tonnage that I know I'm going to be over. So that way I'm not coming to you later like, hey, I messed up, I underbid it. The dumpsters actually end up costing me this much. You gotta pay that. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I do that. I can't speak for nobody else. Now, if I don't use all the dumpsters and I don't go over tonnage, either I give the money back to the client or I ask them like, okay, what upgrades do you want? So instead of a basic faucet, do you want this $500 touchless commercial grade faucet? They got the little fancy soap dispenser that you can Bluetooth to it, cause them boys started at $250 by itself. Or do you want to upgrade your tile? So instead of the cheap tile, do you want to go with a higher end $3 to maybe $5 per square foot tile? I ask them what they want to do. Typically, either they'll let me keep it for a credit towards future jobs or like future estimates, or we'll just upgrade it in the house somewhere. But typically, if there is a credit left, it's going to go back in the house because it's an old Detroit house and something gonna be wrong. Either I'm gonna snake the drain and now I gotta replace the stack. It could go like another house I'm working on now. It wasn't fire damage, but when we got ready to do the tub, it was an old plastic tub that they had with jets that had a live wire going to that. So now I gotta take that tub out, put in a new tub, dead that wire, and reroute it out that bathroom back into the panel. I think it was like an extra 1,200. So she had like 2,200 left over in that budget for us not being able to do any exterior work because it's cold right now. So that went towards that. And then that extra 1,000 that's left over, I'll use that to pay to reglaze the whole bathroom once I put the tub in. And then since the tub is higher than existing tile, now we got to cut out some of that old tile. I got to fill that in with just regular white tile because it's a black tile bathroom. And then we just gonna glaze everything and it'll blend and look brand new. You won't never know. So that 2,200 would go towards that. She ain't gotta come out no more bread. I ain't gotta get no money back. Who wants to get money back? And there's that. But it's always gonna be something in the Detroit house. Always. Let me see. So in my personal opinion, fire is better than fire and water are bad, but if I got to choose between purchasing a water damaged house or a fire damaged house, I'm going to go with fire every single time. Why, you may ask? A fire is typically contained in one area. If a trickle of water gets in your house behind those walls, where is it going to stop? It's going to be the gift that keep on giving, especially if it's a something in the foundation. So every time it rains, it's gonna come in there, or if it's moisture in the soil, the water gonna come in there. Like water is the worst. I do fire over water any day. So the image of what I'm showing is a house the house from hell that I'm currently in. So it's on the west side. This is the fire that was in the basement, but the fire, by the time the insurance and everybody came and did their investigation, that took probably almost a year because the fire happened October 2020. I think September or October 2021. I bidded it in October 2021. Everything didn't get approved to August 2022. Now we're in 2023, and guess who's still in this house? Me. I ain't even drywall yet. Not my fault. Reasons beyond my control. The client he did. I can't get mad at him because he did right. If your insurance is the correct insurance and they're gonna cut you a fat check and we gotta gut your house to the studs, this is the time that you get everything that you've ever dreamed of in your house because it's open. And that's exactly what he's doing. But it's also to the point I had to tell him today, like, you're an amazing client, you pay on time with no problem. But I'm tired of coming over here. I know you tired of not being in your home. Whatever you watching, bro, I need you to stop. No more HGTV for you. No more any home renovation shows, do not watch. Any trade shows, do not attend. Any magazines, do not read. Cause it's about to be April and I'm still here. And I'm trying to get the schedule ready because the weather is starting to we in the flip flop season of the and we about to go in the rainy season. So once the end of April May hit, it's gonna be on and popping for me because now the weather is breaking and I can start, ramping stuff up. So I'm trying to finish you up so I can be done by I thought I was gonna be done with that house at the end of February. Here we are about to be Easter. But whatever. So anyway, back to this house. I digress. So all the joists had to be replaced in the floor joists because they were burnt to a crisp. They were past the charge phase. Uh, those tiles on the floor were asbestos tiles because anything I think is 4x4 is asbestos tile, and all these older houses got them. And I don't do asbestos removal or lead abatement. I'm lead abatement certified just in case something I bid on requires it. So I just keep it active in case I need it. But he had to have a company come in and do that because I don't do that. So we had to replace everything. So he's getting a new AC unit, the whole shebang. What's wrong, my? My computer has been tripping. Unless that's all the hold on. Is them all the pictures? Oh, that was it. That's why. All right, I'm gonna go back to the beginning of the pictures so y'all can see the entire fire and what it looked like. Let me share my screen. If you're on the gram, y'all gonna have to come over here to see it. Please and thank you. All right, so here's the fire. The whole house, like, I don't know how long it took for them to get the fire out, but it started in the basement. I guess worked its way up. The smoke smell was just horrible. Like, I got asthma, so I couldn't be in there alone. I was doing the asthma. I had to keep taking breaks. Had to go get my mask. The whole nine. Like, as soon as I left there, I had to go home and shower because now the smell is in my clothes and my hair. I had to wash my hair. His plant still was living. I was surprised, but he ended up moving them out. But they still made it. Some of them. So all the furniture had to come out. Everything. Now, whoever his insurance agent is the truth. I need his or her number because they broke him off. Whatever, I don't know what his monthly premium is, but this goes to show you that insurance is important. So this client got a nice check, like 200 some thousand for contents. So you know your contents is just for your stuff burning. That's your clothes, your furniture, whatever food you lost. He got 200,000 just for contents getting messed up. On top of the rehab, he really could have tore this house down and rebuilt it. But it is a brick house. It is in a historical neighborhood, so I get it. And the house paid for, so I understand it. So we opened up walls, like we moved some stuff around. He had carpet upstairs, so we pulled all that up. We just gonna do the hardwood. The bathroom we made bigger. His half bath in the master bedroom, we made that into a full bathroom now. And then he had another like a little powder room off the basement. You know, that meant you was rich back in Detroit. If you got more than one bathroom, you paid. So this was the bathroom. I can see all that smoke damage. That looks so nasty. That's the bathroom still. Like when I post the before and after on this house when we done, like it looks amazing now when the house just gutted. Like it looks so like nice and clean. Don't smell like smoke. And that's another thing when the inspectors come, if they smell smoke when you going through your before you close the wall phase, they will fail you because they cannot smell smoke at all before you close walls. So how you do that is you remove all the smoke damage, replace all that wood, the joists, the subfloor we had to replace, studs in the walls we had to replace. We had to replace a steel beam. What else we had to do? Once we did all that, and then before electrical and plumbing and HVAC started, we had to come in there and kills everything. It's a certain oil-based type kills you can use, or a special paint that Sherwin-Williams sells for fire damage. We had to come in there and spray that. I think we had to do like 4 coats because after the first 2 coats, we still smelled it just a little bit, and then it was completely gone by the time that 4th coat came. We also replacing all the windows downstairs. They on back order, so that'll get rid of anything else because all that's getting replaced. Upstairs windows was cool, but the first floor windows we got to replace them and the patio door. So that got rid of all the smoke, plus getting all the furniture and the clothes out, all that good stuff. This house got like 70. I forgot how many. I think it's like 75 recessed lights we did in there. Cause you know a lot of old houses don't have that much light. Like this boy is a car lot. It's gonna look good though. Like I can't wait till the final pictures come we done. I'm posting them and videos. So this the house. So phases of just construction in general after you gut a house according to permit status. So first I gotta go pull my builder's permit. Then once I pull my builder's permit, it ain't gotta be in this order, but typically then the plumber, the HVAC, heating and cooling contractor, and then the electrical contractor, they all go pull their permit. So that's 4 permits that you have on the house. The permits on this house was probably about 20,000 because it go per I think in $10,000 increments. The building permit always costs the most because my builder's permit is responsible for that whole house. So I have in my contract that there are to be no other contractors on this property working that is not affiliated with Denson Construction Services. Why? Because my permit is responsible for this house. So if you hire Mr. Joe Blow who say he can do this and that and he do the work and it ain't right, guess who's responsible for that house? Me. So if you do that, that automatically violates the contract, and we go into court if that's what you want to do, because you ain't getting whatever money back you paid to me because you violated the terms of said black and white contract that you signed. Boom. All right. So then after I pull my permit, the first person that's coming in, heating and cooling guy. The heating and cooling guy has the biggest equipment. He got to run all new duct work. So him and a carpenter is typically going to work together because he's going to tell me or the carpenter what he needs removed, moved over, added to, so he can run his floor his duct work up whatever walls under wherever it need to go, right? So he go in first. Boom. After him, typically you could have the plumber and the electrician in there at the same time because they plumbers typically they only in the bathrooms, the kitchen, in the basement, and the electrician he all over the place. So normally I have my electrician go in. Let me back up. Before HVAC start, you can have your electrician come set up temporary power so people ain't using like generators and stuff like that, and they can plug into at least one or two plugs. You can do that too. So now I got the electrical in there getting ran and the plumbing. So heating and cooling has to pass a gas inspection if you have your HVAC guy do your gas lines. I have my HVAC guy do all heating and cooling. So because the plumber can also, let me back up. HVAC contractor does duct work, your furnaces, your heat vents. He can also do your gas lines, which is to your stove, furnace, and your hot water tank. Or the plumber can do your gas lines and hot water tank, either or. I typically have HVAC do that because he's the one putting in my furnace, so everything gonna be the size that he needs. That's blah blah blah. I ain't got to worry about him and the plumber not coordinating getting it together. So I have my HVAC guy do the furnace, and the hot water tank and the gas line. So that's all on his permit. Boom. And then the plumber come in. I had him just do the plumbing and plumb to the hot water tank. Boom. So that's that. So then that's 3 permits. Inspection got to pass. So we got your HVAC got to pass. Actually 5, I think. So HVAC has to pass a gas line inspection, a pressure test inspection to the gas lines and to the furnace, and then he has to pass a hot water tank inspection and a press something with the duct work. So that's like 4 inspections he got to get green stickers on. All right, cool. So all 4 of them pass. Now the plumber got to get a pressure test inspection, and then he has to get one just on his lines and on his stacks or whatever. So that's 2 to 3. So we're at what, 7 inspections they got to pass so I can close walls. All right, cool. Now the plumber, the electrical, he has to have one to the panel and the meter can. If he put in the new meter can, that's what goes on the back. So and then the part to the DTE part that you're responsible for to the pole line, they got to get inspected. The panel got to get inspected, and then the wiring itself got to get inspected. Mind you, these are all rough inspections because you're gonna have a rough inspection and you're gonna have a final inspection. So we at 7. We at like 10 inspections right now. All right. So now all your trades done passed. Cool. Now carpentry inspection has to pass. So that's all your framing got to pass. All that. So once framing passed and all them other ones, they gonna ask you like, hey, do all your other ones pass? I showed them the green stickers, but they gonna go look it up anyway and make sure that you all passed. You can just get a roll of green stickers that fell out of an inspector truck, right? They gonna look it up, make sure, boom. So all 10 of them, 11 inspections done passed. Now your inspector gonna be like, you know what, Asia, you clear the close, you clear the insulate. So now I gotta insulate. So that's now my 11th inspection I had, and then after your insulation pass, okay, Asia, now you clear the closed walls. Getting to clear to close your walls is the hardest freaking part of a full gut rehab because it's hard. Nobody but me, my subs, and the inspector cares about what goes on behind the walls. Y'all don't really care. All y'all see is beautiful tile, beautiful finished work, and that's that, right? Boom. So now we have 12 inspections. So now we clear the closed walls. That means now I can drywall. I can start doing my finishes. So now the house is done. Oh my God, it's beautiful. I can't believe this is my house. Look at where it came from. Whoopie whoop. Now HVAC has to have. Actually, we had 13 inspections if HVAC had a AC unit, because that's separate too. And on this one it did. So we had 13. My bad. So now HVAC is going to have an inspection for finals. That means all his heat vents is on. If it's a heat vent in the toe kick in your kitchen, which it typically will be in a Detroit house because all these old Detroit houses do not have heat going to the first floor. Now y'all want to wonder why your heating bill is crazy, or why it's cold downstairs and hot as hell upstairs. Ain't no heat vents. Just walk around your house. If you don't see at least 2 heat vents to the room, that's why. Ain't no heat coming to the room. All right. So all your finishes for HVAC is done. Boom, that passed. All right, electrical. That means all your plugs and switches is in, all your pretty white brand new cover places on, your panel is on, everything wired to the panel correctly and labeled at the panel correctly. Now you're gonna pass that. Boom. Now we had inspection what, 15? All right, plumber. Everything running right, hot and cold running right. The pressure getting up to the second floor bathroom from the basement, all that's flowing right. It ain't over, I think it can't be no hotter than 105 or 10 degrees or something like that. If it is, they gonna fail you because it's too hot. Somebody gonna get burned to death, get scalded, and now you getting sued. So if it fails that, they gonna you gotta adjust it either at the hot water tank, let it cool down, and then they'll retest you either later that day or next day or whatever. So now your plumbing done passed. Whoop de whoop. We had inspection 15 now, I think it was. All right. So that's all your trades done passed. Now we at the final for building. Everybody else done passed all they final green sticker. Now they coming through. They checking your scope of work. So whatever contract that you submitted with your building permit that shows the scope of work or invoice. Like I typically submit the contract and the invoice or either or. No, I think I do the contract. I submit the contract. If it's a big job like 50,000 and up, I submit the actual contract. If it's a smaller job like that require a permit, I just submit the write up the invoice because that's still all that is still hold up in court because it don't matter because I put permits. So they're gonna look at the contract or your scope of work and they're gonna go through with a check. Oh, your smoke detectors in, boom. Let me back up. On a full gutted house in Detroit, because city code trumps your state code in Michigan, or the county or whatever. So you have to have hardwired smoke detectors and CO2 detectors. So they all have to be interconnected and got to talk to each other. So if the fire happens in the basement, but all your doors is closed and you up there in the bedroom, you need to get the alert that, hey, something going on, it's a fire. Same with the CO2 and so forth. So all of them got to be hardwired and interconnected with a 10-year lithium battery, which I just found out cost $33 for 2 in a pack. So all my smoke detector prices is going up because I was underbid. But that's another story. So now you done passed all that. Boom. So now you're going to start getting letters in the mail. You, the homeowner, I think gets one, but I know for sure I get one. But if you don't get one, I submit mine to you anyway, showing 4 letters called a certificate of acceptance. That shows that everything has passed and is acceptable up to the state of Michigan Builders Code. You are free, good to go. Hoorah, blah, blah, blah. If there is an escrow account for a fire damage property, they'll release all that. If it's a lien on the house due to the fire, they'll release all that because now you got your C of A, which is certificate of acceptance, showing that now the house is habitable. You can move back in. The next phase after that, I'm not sure if you got to do it if you're a homeowner, but if it's a tenant occupied house, you got to get a certificate of occupancy, which is easy to get if you hire me because you're going to have all your certificate of acceptance letters showing that everything was done to code. You're going to submit that with the application and whatever the fee is, and then boom, you're going to get your C of O. And boom, now your firehouse is good to go. So what questions y'all got? The insurance didn't get them a hard time. Did they give them a hard time? They did give a hard time. That's why it took so long. Cause the first amount they approved, and I honestly believe once they found out it was me, cause I look like that, then they started giving me a hard time. They started asking for copies of my subcontractor bids. All the insurance jobs I've done in the 12 years of business, I had never once been asked for a copy of the bids from my subs. No problem. Here you go. So you can see now I ain't really marking it up for real. I'm charging them what they charge me. All right, whatever. Here you go. So they asked for that. Oh, we need a copy of our license. No, you don't. Because if you go to michigan.gov/Laura, scroll down to residence builder, type in Asia Denson, you will see a license for Asia Denson, and then you're going to see another license for Denson Construction Service because I got 2 licenses. So I guess you think the website on the state is lying. All right, whatever. Went through all that. Oh, you don't have insurance. Yeah, I do. I got $2 million in coverage in insurance. So I got more than enough general liability insurance to cover this $400,000 contract. Here you go, see attachment. Matter of fact, here's my agent, so they can send it directly to you, so it doesn't look like fraud. Like, they gave me a really, really hard time. My client fought for me to get that contract because they kept trying to force one of their compadres or buddies or whatever to do that job, because they kept sending him like, you should call this one. They gonna give you a good deal. They gonna do a good price, whatever. If he would have went with that contractor, all these extras he's doing, they wouldn't have did it. They would have just stuck to the contract, and that's been that. And he would be back in his house, but he wouldn't be happy. So I'm gonna do what you want because you paying me. It's your house, whatever. So that's that. But the insurance, they definitely gave me a hard time. I can't say they gave the client, but they gave me a hard time for sure. If you ever find out what insurance he had, please share. I'm getting insurance too, because they the truth. But the thing is, for the coverage that he got, I'm pretty sure he had a high premium, probably an even higher deductible, but that's fine. How long you got to be paying insurance before they will cut a check? I have no idea. You got to talk to an agent. Never heard of that type of insurance. Yeah, it's called contents. Just like with business insurance, I suggest if you're a property management company, or you do anything where you got a staff, like an architectural firm, engineering firm, like whenever I hire my employee, I will add on errors and omissions series. It's called E of O. Yeah, errors. What's it called? Errors and omissions. My R's don't sound right sometimes. Errors of omissions insurance. I don't know what it costs, but get it. So if you ever have a lawsuit to where, let's say, one of your employees stole a client credit card and went and had a blast at the casino, they gonna sue you. They gonna win because that employee is attached to you. You gonna file the insurance claim, play whatever that deductible is. They gonna cash them out, whoop de whoop, and then that's that. And then you are probably going to have a premium increase, of course, so now they had to pay out, but you didn't come out no money. So that's what matters, because we working smarter, not harder. Now, then you will probably have to go after said employee for stealing and then sue them and win, in court that way. And, of course, press criminal charge, because you steal from me, you're going to jail, period. You steal from one of my clients, you're going to jail. I don't care what's going on with your life. Sorry to hear. You're going to jail. See what else? What other questions y'all have? Oh, no, somebody said notaries. Yeah, errors and omissions. Notaries have it as well. I didn't even think about that. That makes sense because somebody could take steal their stamp pad and just notarize documents. I would think title companies have it too. I would definitely think a title company have it. Attorneys probably. Yeah, and assign. Yeah, okay. They said a notary would have it in case somebody takes that in the. Wait a minute. Oh, I got what you're saying. So if I'm a notary and you are the person document that I'm notaring, and then you go commit fraud, it still protects me because I didn't know you was about to go commit fraud. I follow you. Let me see what else. What other questions y'all got? Blah blah blah. Nope. I don't know what other questions we got. You only got no questions for me? Do you worry about? Oh, here we go. Do you worry about mold after water damage? Absolutely. Which is another thing. That's why I'm saying water is the enemy, because it creates so many additional problems the longer it sit there. And I don't do mold removal. Like maybe surface mold because it's real light, but I got asthma. All my subs, most of them have, they're married with families, so I'm considerate of that, and I don't do that because one, my insurance don't cover it. Oh, so Chris Jackson said he's a home inspector and he has it. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. I don't know the minimum or maximum coverage you can get, but I definitely suggest it. Like if I was still doing home inspections, like when I first started my company, I would do inspections, but I stopped because it's kind of the same thing as an estimate in a way, but it's more paperwork than the estimate. I would do it. You straight, Hawkeye? Hawkeye says hello, y'all. Bro. Bro. Hawkeye say what up though, y'all. Jesus peace. I gotta start going to the office because you would not let me be great. You're welcome. Somebody said next insurance give it out like candy cheap. Can you post a link? Okay. Really? My bad, y'all. I done gave you a little hint stick. You should be Gucci now. Jesus, I'm gonna start going to the office to do this. He won't let me be professional at all. But yeah, here go the pictures to the fire damage. Upstairs one is bad. It was just that smoke smell, and if the smoke now sat in the carpet and in the plaster or drywall so long, they will make you gut the whole house because the smell is still in there and you won't pass your inspection. Another thing I've learned over the years is when you gut a house with plaster and then you go back with drywall, for some reason, to me the room seemed bigger. I guess because plaster is heavier or thicker, I should say. And I've noticed the room seem a little bigger. Maybe not a lot, but at least a couple inches. Yeah, so all this is gone. Like we tore that wall and opened it up, so it's a nice open concept. Like this boy gonna be cold. And I told him like when you had your first little soiree at the crib, I know who better get an invite. And that's Distant Construction Services and all her affiliates. We gonna tear that thing out, okay? So this is what the fire looked like. Like this was bad, bad. Like look at the treadmill. I don't remember if he was home or not when it happened though. I hope not. Oh, we also had to go back and finish the basement because the basement was finished as well. So we had to that was in the bid. So when you're doing a basement, you have to dry lock all the walls, to seal them. Once that dry, then you frame your walls. Then your electrician come do all his thing, HVAC, whatever gotta go if some more gotta go on the walls. Then we insulate, and then we have to put up a vapor barrier, which is like 6 mil poly, the plastic or whatever. And then we drywall. So that's how you finish a basement. When I finish my basement, because I was taught this way when I got my builder's license, you go with green drywall, because green drywall, y'all know, is the wet, water resistant, moisture resistant, whatever. So I was taught that or the purple one goes in all wet spaces. So that's your kitchens, your bathrooms, and your basements and laundry rooms. But laundry rooms is in the basement here, so we'll do all that. So yeah, this was bad. Like that was the fire. Like it was horrible. Like he had a full gym down there. He had treadmill, weights, a sauna. Actually, I think the sauna, it was either the sauna or the treadmill that started the fire. He had drop ceilings, so we took all that out. He just gonna spray the ceiling black. I can't spray the ceiling until I pass all my inspections because when you spray the ceiling, you're gonna spray the plumbing and the electrical, and they got to be able to see all that. So once all that passed, we'll cover everything up and then spray the ceiling black for them. It's gonna be nice. Or we might have to, we're gonna have to spray it, and we just cover it. But on the next project, if not, we'll probably spray the ceiling first before wiring and stuff, depending on what time of year it was. Because we started this I think in August, so, and it was cold in the house a little bit. Like all his drawers and stuff got burnt. I would have been devastated. Like, look at them old wires, dog. Yeah, this boy was jacked up. Are you saying Hawkeye? That's a cute name. Yeah, that's my dog named Hawkeye. So I found out when I got him that Hawkeye was a superhero in the Marvel thing, but I didn't get his name from that. I got his name from the TV show MASH because that was the lead actor on there, the tall, skinny white dude. He was in the military or whatever, and my granddaddy used to watch that show all the time, so that's how I got that name. Will this renovation raise his property value? It might because of where it's at. He in a historic neighborhood. I forgot which one, but I think it will and then it's still a brick house. If this was a frame house, I would have for sure been like, "Hey boy, tear this down and build new." But it was brick, and that's another reason why I love brick houses because you didn't even know that house had this bad of a fire until you walked in. You couldn't even tell from outside. It was no like smoke damage outside, no nothing. Another question. Was there any damage to the main support beam? Yep, we had to replace the beam. We had to replace the beam upstairs, and I think no, the basement beam was straight. The main beam was straight, but the secondary beam we had to We had to add in. We had to add one in actually, and we had to move some stuff too. And that was like another 15,000. So he done had probably he probably had about 80,000 in change orders. Cause whatever he was watching, he was adding. And at first it was cool because I'm like, it's more money, but I ain't one of them contractors that like being in your house all day. Like it's at the point now where I'm tired of putting your address in the PO number at Home Depot, Lowe's, and all the supply houses. I'm tired. I'm tired of this house. Like I dread going over there. I don't know how people be in houses forever and be cool with it because I be tired. I don't even like turning down the street. Um, hold on. What was one of your questions? You said we hear you, Hawkeye. Yeah, he'd be sleeping in a minute. And then y'all gonna hear him snoring like he just got off from J nap. I don't understand your question, D. Leela J, as well as finding funding, or are you asking for about funding? Um, Funding in Detroit is a lot easier to get than it used to be because that's how I started using like credit cards and stuff for my fix and flip because no one was lending in Detroit under 50,000. Because back then the houses wasn't as bad as they are now because they hadn't been sitting empty as long. Like people had just literally moved out, so it was just quick little cosmetic stuff. But as far as funding, I do have an ebook for sale. It's 90. I think it's $97. With like just pages of lenders, people I personally borrowed from over the years, or clients of mine that's borrowed from, or some that was just recommended to me. Buildingdetroit.org. Not that. That's the land bank site. I think it's Detroit. I gotta Google it. They got some. God, what is that lender? It's a Detroit land bank lender. Like they lend for land bank rehabs because they know that the comps don't support the amount of work that it needs. And that's how a lot of people houses start getting fixed because they created that for that. Is it on Building Detroit website? Because I know Chemical Bank is now with Huntington Bank. I know they're one of them. You also get a discount when you renovate land bank houses if you buy from one. And they got a list of people on their website, renovation perks. So you get a discount at Sharon Williams, Sam's Appliances. I don't know who that is. Advanced Plumbing, you get a discount. Dawes give you a discount. The steel door covers I use. You get a discount for taking training classes for renovation at Detroit Training Center. That's actually kind of dope. Purchase compliance. I can't think of the name of that website for nothing. It might be booked up, marked on my laptop. I just gotta find it. More questions. I've been in the one I sold today for a year. I've been in Big Orange for 2 years. This market messed me up. What messed me up, no matter what other people did that messed up my project, is still my fault. I mean, that's just the bottom line. I should have fired people long before I did instead of waiting it out. Had I fired them early on, I could have had my main team come in and not main team, just another team I've been dealing. Well, yeah, main because we've been rocking since the first day. Come in and finish it, and it would have been done and sold by now. So now, I think it ain't sold now because I still need to paint outside, but it's too cold. So I can't paint to. I probably can't paint to May because we about to go in the rainy season. And if I paint, I need at least a week, or I probably need 2 weeks of good clear weather because they got to scrape it, wet sand it, all of that, and then paint it. Do you mind? So yeah, I probably need like 2 weeks of good weather. So I'm gonna have to wait till like May. Or I might rent it. But if I rent out Big Orange, I'm not taking no less than 2,200 a month. That rehab too cold for that. Like that's a high end rehab. And if you want appliances, I'm gonna need 2,500. Or you want to do a land contract somebody, I do that. But yeah, I done been in there for a minute, so it don't even bother me no more. The only thing that's saving me is that I bought the house cheap. I only paid 71. I think it was like 71.42 for that house. My holding cost is like $1,000 a month to still keep that house because I got dogs on there. That's like $540 a month plus the DTE bills and insurance. So it's about $1,000 a month to still hold it. So whenever I do sell it, I'm just gonna break even. Like I ain't greedy. I just want to break even and be done. I love brick as well. I love brick houses. That's why I love Detroit. We got the most brick houses. It's just you working. Yeah, that'll do it too. That's why I don't work in my houses. If I worked in my houses, I wouldn't make no money because I'm in the house. And the longer I'm in the house, the less money I'm making. I need to be out doing these estimates, doing stuff like this, having events, speaking at other people events and stuff to bring the money in and just keep everybody busy. So like I have a hell of a team. Like my team is the bomb. Like everybody has a role on the team and everybody plays their role and it's all good. My time frame for completion for this firehouse for hell, I was supposed to been out by the end of February. I ain't even drywall yet, so now I don't have no deadline no more. So I get done when I get done. I would love to be done from whenever I can finally start drywall. I'll be out for 60 days from drywall. Cause then once I drywall ain't gonna take but a week, 2 weeks tops. I'm gonna say a week. Drywall gonna take a week. Cause they gonna hang in 3 days and finish between 4 and 7. So let's say 2 weeks drywall. Then I can prime. Once that's done, then I'm laying on my bathroom and kitchens. I'm tiling. I'm ordering cabinets. Actually, they already ordered from the supplier. He can go and start setting that in, and then once that's set in, I can order my countertop, but that's gonna take a couple weeks. Then I'm gonna do my hardwood floor. I'm just gonna seal all the rooms off so will no dust get up in there, and then shit. After that, we finishing. Like I once I the first from the first day of a sheet of drywall going up, I'm gonna be out of there in 60 days. Cause my subs already on high alert. I'm about to be on y'all ass like white on rice. I'm tired of this house. Everybody done been paid but me. It's time for me to get paid. How much longer until you will finish? Can't wait to see the reveal. Oh, my bad, just answered that. But yep. Hey, Miss Rachel. Oh, Rachel's a dope woman contractor as well here in Detroit, y'all. Rachel Saltmeyer. I forgot the name. I think it's something Rose Construction. I can't think of the name of, but feel free to put it in the comments, Rachel. You know this the last one I do is a wrap. Yeah, like you lose money being in the house. Like you lose money if you the one in there doing the work. Can I help on the carpentry side? Yeah, but I don't want to. For what? I rather have a good team. Everybody play their role, and I go out and get more money. Like me and another dope GC in Detroit, and them partner up because I'm great with the paperwork and the business side, and he's great with the field side. So we go together now. As far as in construction, like this is gonna be a great business relationship. Let me see. Does your container home contact have a website? He doesn't have one personally, but the company that he works with or the consultant for is the number three squaredinc.com. They also got an IG. Do you have to put primer on drywall before you paint the actual color? Yes, or that paint is gonna look real. You actually it's probably gonna run off the drywall. I don't even know what that'll look like, but you gotta prime it. You might could be cheap and do the paint and primer in one, but I don't even suggest that because I don't think that's gonna come out right. Do not recommend. You looking for a multifamily? How many units? Because I got a 2 unit right now for sale. It's an old wood property. I just want 85,000 for it. It's in Island View. It's towards the end of Island View, but the wave is coming down because they done tore down all the houses and they done redevelop over there. They done put a new 100 unit apartment building 3 blocks away. So, but it's wood. It's wood frame. So you're gonna have to do. This is a big rehab though. Way big rehab. I suggest only tear it down, building new. Because if I keep it, I'm gonna tear it down and keep my lot and build new on it. You said you hate it. Anytime. A 2 to 4 year. Mine is a 2 unit. It's a flat. I'm gonna actually probably post a video this weekend that we did. Let me see. That's what happened to me. I lost everything in the house fire. I don't wish that on nobody. That got to be devastating to lose everything, all your precious like items, family photos, like heirlooms and stuff like that. They gotta, yeah. I don't wish that on nobody. Yeah, I always think of Mad. See, that's what's up. You are very welcome. Let me see what else. No more questions over there. Any questions over here? Hawkeye, you just getting on my nerves. Let's see. No more questions. That's what happened to you. A fire. Yeah, I don't wish that on nobody. That's devastating. But if you got insurance, that's gonna make that fire a little better. What I really feel for is the people who have fires and don't have no insurance. I don't understand that. That's really messed up. You got a question? What's your question? You want to come on, and then if y'all want to, I wouldn't mind doing this if y'all want. Like, I'm gonna drop the link if anybody wants to come on here and like ask their questions. Like, come on and ask it live, make it more interacting. I ain't got no problem with that. This dope hoodie I got on that say "In Detroit We Trust." I am sponsored by the Detroit Fresh Shop. If you're on my email list, the email goes out like once a week or whatever. But it's the DetroitFreshShop.com. The link is in the comments on YouTube. And use code Lady Contractor in all caps to save 10%. You posted it up top. I think I answered your question. I answered that one. I had renter's insurance, but some stuff just couldn't be replaced. I mean, yeah, that's true. Like the family stuff, yeah, that you can't put no value on that. I'm with you on that. Renter's insurance is important. If you are a renter, get renter's insurance because if the okay, let's say I have one of my rooms, right? Let's say it's a fire, unfortunately. I'm gonna get a check because I got insurance on my property. But are you gonna get a check? Not from me, not from my insurance company because you are the tenant. You should have your own renter's insurance so your contents are covered. I'm gonna get paid so I can redo the rehab, but I'm not responsible for your stuff. You supposed to have your own renter's insurance, and it's really messed up because you done lost all your stuff, but that ain't my fault. Sorry for you. Um, what's the other question? Michigan Basic canceled me too because they stopped after COVID. I don't know if it was like a lot of fraud going on because they used to insure all my vacant properties. Then it went up to where I was only paying like $800 some a year for. I think I had $100,000 coverage on Big Yellow on Parker, and then they canceled my policy because now they like we don't insure it, but if we do insure it, now we want like 10 grand for the year. You out your mind. I rather put that if I'm paying 10 grand on anything on Parker, that 10 grand is going back into the property. Like I got some work done for that 10,000 something. Yeah, Michigan Basic canceled me too. How much to tear down and rebuild that wood frame? The build brick. Oh, you trying to go back brick? You're really about to spend some money because brick ain't cheap. You can do half brick, half frame to keep your cost down, but brick is not cheap. A tear down in Detroit is a low end 25,000 up to 50, depending on the size. I'm actually waiting on the quote from one of my homies, the guy who owns Brian. I need to reach out to him. He owns Gyango Company. They do demos. They got a lot of demo work with the city actually. I'm waiting on him to send me a quote so I know exactly what it costs. But if I don't sell it, I'm gonna tear it down because that land is worth some bread because of where it's at and what's coming. And then you ain't got to worry about being in compliance with the city, getting any fines because you ain't. Well, it don't matter because mine ain't land bank owned. So like, I got dogs on there, secured. I keep the grass cut, snow shovel. I got insurance on it. They tried to fine me at the end of last year, but I had all my stuff and I just sent it to them, and that was that. So we good. But if you buy for 85, your demo might cost you 35, roughly. I'm not really sure because I don't do demo work. So I'm waiting on the exact price, and then I know. Let me see. But if I do build, I'm building a container duplex on it, so I can get practice for building them. I rather practice on my own stuff than somebody else's stuff. I've actually turned down 2 container home build contracts because I was nervous because I ain't never did it before, and I don't feel comfortable taking $400,000 from somebody for some junk I ain't never did. Like I don't feel comfortable. And they respected it though, because anybody else would just took their bread and ran off with it. But no, I got a name out here. Uh, I'm about to buy some property down in Jackson. Where in Jackson? I went to Jackson State, so once I get all my stuff that I need to do in Detroit, because it's my city, got to take care of home first. I'm definitely gonna be buying in Jackson, because I need me an Airbnb, probably like in Madison or something. Okay. Have you ever considered having your own dolls fabricated so that you can reuse them? Uh, that's not a bad idea, but I wouldn't do it because that's something that's not my lane. I try to, you know how some people be in business, they do like 7-11 different things. I stick to what I know. Um, but that's actually not a bad idea. Like I would partner with somebody and then just get paid monthly for whatever we agree to I'm supposed to get. Because all the projects I'm doing, then I'm basically getting paid to use my own stuff. So that's not a bad idea. Um, I know someone who just got an estimate back for a teardown. He charges her $9,000 to tear it down and $2K to shut up the utility. Her house burned down and she didn't have insurance. What size was the house? Because all that matters. So all that matters. And then who paying for the dumpsters? And who paying to backfill? Because if he gonna tear it down for $9,000, okay, does that include the dumpsters in the hallway? Does that $9,000 include your city of Detroit demolition permit that you need to have? Does that $9,000 include filling that basement hole if it's on a basement? Somebody got to fill that hole back in. They got to backfill it with sand or whatever you're gonna pull in there. Are they pulling the basement out and then filling the hole? So that price is a little too good to be true for me, especially now. Now, if this was back when the market was bad, that was a hell of a price because it used to be $8,000 to tear down a regular bungalow in Detroit, but not no more. And then you got to make sure all the utilities shut off. You got to I pay more money to make sure that jump right because if something ain't right, now you got to pay again. You done paid twice and you could have just paid one time. I think that's too low, but it also depends on the size. If it's just a little small little frame house, it might be spot on. But you got to ask them what is included in that 9,000 and make sure it's in writing, black and white. What are dogs? So dogs are door and window guard systems. I am I ain't no partner with them, but I send them a whole lot of work. So if you use them, please mention my name so I get my little fee. Facts, Rachel. It has to be approved dirt that goes back into that hole. All the utilities have to be cut off correctly. You got to call Miss Diggs first, which is free. They got to come and mark all the utilities and the power lines. Because if you don't and you blow the street up, all y'all going to jail. And the dirt got to be approved. That goes back into that hole, and then you got to spray the approved grass seeds over it. So yeah, I don't know about that $9,000 unless they just brand new get started. Now you might have found a gym, and that price does include all that. You better get it in black and white. Everything that they bring on that site, ask them for a copy of the safety data sheets (SDS), because that's going to show you what material they are bringing to the site. Because this inspector is going to ask for that. Hey, what kind of dirt is this? You need to be able to show an invoice or a safety data sheet showing what was brought to that site. Yes, I was considering my own dog, so I probably not necessarily as a rental asset, but something. Yeah, that's a dope idea. You said you don't think it's allowed to pop up. I'm sorry. I'm about to end this live anyway on Instagram because it's saying I got 45 seconds left, and then I'm gonna start new. So can you just type your question right then, and it'll be at the top. So sorry about that. All right, discard video.
If you need something quick and easy for dinner.
Thank you, Mr. Make It Happen. I don't know if y'all following him on IG, but he be cooking. All right, what questions y'all got? All right, and we're back. Landlord Nation says I tore down the property for $8K in 2004. Exactly. Like I said, before the market crash or right when the market crashed, I remember the city of Detroit was tearing down these old abandoned houses. I think the going rate was $8,500. Those days are gone. Unless he is out there doing the work himself and own his own equipment, I can see that happening. And he just trying to get in, get his name out there. I ain't saying it's impossible. That's why I'm like, you got to know what's included in that price and get it in black and white. I don't know what Westfield is. Can you actually flip houses in Detroit all day? You just got to know what the hell you're doing. And you got to buy the house right. You make your money when you buy the house if you get it at a good price. And then you got to make sure the rehab that's needed supports the comps in the neighborhood. Some people over rehab their houses, which is, fine. And so that costs you more money on the back end because you spend it on higher materials. But I tell everybody the way that you manage your personal finances is the same way you're going to manage your business finances. So I'm queen of coupons. I went couponing today at Kroger. One, because it's Friday. I went around one. All y'all at work or at the liquor store about to get y'all a drinky drink for this green holiday today. So let me go ahead and do my couponing in the app. I'm Gucci. Come on back home for y'all get out here and start driving crazy. That's cool. So I use coupons in my business. Y'all sleep on Sam's Club. Sam's Club sell laminate floors, very good quality as well. They also sell appliances. They also sell your lithium batteries that's required in your smoke detectors with 20 in a pack for $19.99. I'm going to get a pack of double A's and a pack of triple A's because I got to put all of them in my smoke detectors. Now the 9 volt ones, I don't think they sell in the big pack, but I'm gonna go and look Monday or Tuesday and find out because that $32.98 at Lowe's for 2 in the pack is ridiculous. They used to be like maybe $8. Like y'all tripping. I just had a property tore down for my mom. It was 14,000. That was in Detroit, Michigan. What it do? But yeah, you can flip a house in Detroit. I don't know if y'all follow the Monopoly Brothers. Shout out to Eric and Jamil. They flip in Detroit pretty well. Zeke flips in Detroit pretty well. My boy Flipaholic, he been flipping in Detroit for some years. My boy Big D, he a big party promoter. Him and his nephew, they been flipping in Detroit for years. I flip in Detroit, but I'm also my own GC. So the prices my subs give me when it's my own project is more of a look out, Asia. We appreciate you price compared to when I'm doing a customer price. They're not gonna do that, and I can't blame them. But for that 14,000, was that in Detroit? Let me see. I got any more questions? But yeah, that's basically the summary or conclusion of renovating firehouses. Like the only good thing about a firehouse is you can get it cheap, but you gotta know what you're doing, putting it back together. Cause my Boo Big Red, that was a firehouse I got for 2,500 back in 2017. I could sell it right now and get 150 for it, and it's gutted, and I still gotta put it back to life. But I'm keeping that. That's my baby. That rehab probably gonna cost me 200,000 when I bought it. It probably gonna cost me probably 250 easy, and then I'm gonna build on the lot next to it. West side versus east side in investing, your comps as far as that the neighborhoods, if it's an all brick neighborhood or not, I think that matters to some people. I don't care. If you on a budget, I suggest buying a frame house because frame houses are always gonna be cheaper than brick. Here to start off with. You can just type your question in the comments because if you join, the people on YouTube can see. D, what up though? But I don't really have a difference with West Side or East Side. I live on the East Side. I'm like in Island View, like kind of downtown, so I don't really care wherever I can get a deal at. It don't bother me. I done did houses in Inkster. Yeah, you don't have to join on for the request. Just put your question in the comments. You said it cost you almost $30,000 to do a teardown. Miss Gloria. Did you want to watch the mayor's speech of the city? I didn't watch it all yet. I got to sit and watch it and take notes because when I watch it, I actually, take notes. But a lot of people DM me and told me that they watched it and they was like, everything that I've been saying for years, he said. I know he did. Because I read. I'm a nerd. The city, and I know every city probably does this, they have meetings with urban planners and architects and developers 10 years prior to they move into your neighborhood to take over it and gentrify it. And they are free to the public. We don't go. Now, thanks to technology, we can just watch it on YouTube or watch it on Zoom. Every Monday, the city of Detroit has a free community Zoom meeting. I post it on my stories and on my page. How many of y'all go in there and watch them? Other than me. That's how you know what's going on. The Joe Louis Greenway. Y'all looked that up yet? I've been preaching that all year. Y'all looked it up yet? Y'all went on the website and printed off the plans and went through it with a highlighter and drove the neighborhood so you could visually put the blueprint in your face and see it and start buying over there? Because that's what we doing. I'm selling everything I got other than one of my rentals and Big Red, and I'm buying over there. I don't care if the roof is on the front porch or on the sidewalk. I'm buying it. I'm gonna tear it down. If the demo cost me 30,000, I don't care because 30,000 is cheaper than me putting in $250,000 right now to the only house on the block, and I'm gonna sit on that damn land till that greenway is done, and then I'm gonna go back and start building up the block because it's easier to maintain land than it is a house. So y'all forget when y'all buy these houses, you have to still maintain it, even though it's vacant, until you start rehab. You still got to pay grass every month, or get grass cut every 2-3 weeks in the city, or every month, depending on how much it rains. You still got to get the snow shovel. You got to keep the house secure with dogs or board up. Don't matter because they just gonna cut through that with a saw unless you boarded and bought it, and they still gonna get through that. So you got to still maintain it. You got to keep insurance on. You got to still pay the taxes on. You still have ongoing costs. Like my flip big orange, the house is done, but it ain't sold. I'm still paying $1,000 a month to keep that house until it sells. I just had to pay some more on the back taxes. That was $1,900 I had to pay by the end of this month. Yeah, I don't see your question in the question thing. Just put it in the comment. Just like how you just wrote, thanks, I sent the question. Just write your question. But yeah, it still costs to keep a house. So if you only got $5,000 and you bought a $5,000 house, you already in the hole. Like that don't make sense. It's definitely coming. You looking at a quiet off the boulevard, buy it. I don't care what it look like, buy it. If the rehab, and even if the rehab is a crazy amount right now and the value is not there, don't rehab the house fully. As long as it ain't land bank. If you bought it from the county auction or just off a person or MLS or a wholesaler like me or whatever, just gut it and secure it and just wait. You ain't got to get no power to it. Put your insurance on there. You gonna have to put a roof on there for sure because you got to protect it, and then just secure it and wait. All right, I see your question now. Joe Louis Greenway is a loss if the up and coming Michigan. What? You said Joe Louis Greenway is a loss if the up and coming neighborhoods in Michigan? That don't make no sense to me. How is it a loss? It's a win for the city. It's a loss if you don't invest right. You know what else? Well, you know what is gonna be a loss? Everybody who keep leaving Detroit ain't gonna be able to afford to come back. Now, if you got kids, I understand why you left because our school systems ain't fixed yet. But Detroit public schools will be fixed. It's just a matter of when. I was telling Matt and them last night. Shout out to MG the Mortgage guy. We all went out to eat the Petty Cash, which is a dope black-owned restaurant, by the way. And I was telling some of the people there, they said the same thing about the schools. I was like, I don't know, people who from Detroit, y'all remember this? It was all on the news. Y'all remember when there was a big billboard on the corner of Warren and Woodward on top of one of the Wayne State buildings, and it had a picture of kids in school uniforms, like the suits and stuff, and it said, "Welcome to the new Detroit." Black Detroit had a fit, was protesting, nutted up. What is this? Just like when they had that sign downtown, was like, "Welcome to Detroit," and it had no black people in the picture. It was all upscale white people dressed up in fancy suits at a high-end restaurant getting served. Once again, Black Detroit went on the news and acted a fool. Like, what is this, Dan Gilbert? You gonna change this, and we better not be the help when you change it. Y'all gotta remember this. This was like 2018, maybe 17. So on the sign where it said "Welcome to the new," oh my bad, it had kids on there, and it was like "Welcome to the new Detroit public school system." This picture was a picture of a white kid, an Asian kid, a Mediterranean kid, no black kid, no brown kid. It was boys and girls. What is that? What does that mean? These is all the signs, y'all. Hold on. Let me see. Speaking of taxes, heard that they want to add the property taxes for the other museums. I'm not sure. I gotta look that up. I do know that the city council is trying to. I don't know if they're gonna pass it, that $10 million project for affordable housing. I wrote my comment. I hope they do pass that boy, because that's about to be work for the city. It's not that much rehab, but I wanted to use the VA loan. Won't pass the inspection. I don't know nothing about VA loans, but if you can use it, go for it. But what inspection won't it pass? What inspection does it have to pass to use a VA loan, I should say? Every time you say land bank, crack up laugh because I know how you feel about it. I mean, I don't have nothing against the land bank. It's a very good program. The land bank is actually probably on this last leg because they about to either finish tearing down all the houses and selling them or rehabbing them with the Rehab and Ready program. I don't have an issue with land bank houses. I have an issue with people who buy these land bank houses and don't have a realistic land bank rehab budget. You see a $3,000 house and think you about to come up and the house gonna need $15 to rehab. All land bank houses have to be fully gutted, especially if you spent less than $30,000 on it. They all have been sitting vacant for 10 to 20 or more years. You have to, your cousins done stole everything there was to steal out of said house or on the house. Bricks, they will steal aluminum siding because that has weight to it and you can go to the scrap yard and get money for it. They will steal all the pipes is gone. Any duct work, gone. They can get that boiler out, gone. The furnace gone, hot water tank is gone. And it got to get gutted and brought back to today's 23 code. What y'all think that's going to cost? If I send you out a full $500,000 contract, 100,000 of that is probably materials. 300 of that is probably labor. I gotta get paid. That's 20% of that. But I don't get paid to the last drop. I get paid dead last. So everybody gotta get paid. So I ain't got no issues with the land bank. I have issues with people who buy these land bank houses and ain't got no land bank money. Now, if you ain't got no money for real, or even if you got money, and just don't buy no land bank house. Buy from anybody but them. You can take as long as you want. You gotta look into an FHA 203K. I haven't done a 203K loan since probably 2017 or 18, but I've done them. I remember that. We love nothing up. For sure. VA wants everything updated at the seller's expense mechanicals. Oh yeah, they tripping. You might as well just wait and buy a house like Big Orange that's already done. I was asking, is that a list of the up and coming neighborhoods? Is what a list? The Joe Louis Greenway? No. The Joe Louis Greenway is a project that the city of Detroit is doing. I have a whole YouTube video and I pulled up the plans explaining what the Joe Louis Greenway is. So, quick story. If you've been to Atlanta, Atlanta has this thing called the Beltline. We are mimicking that to where we're making it walkable from the existing DeQuinder cut and extending it all throughout the city. So everything that's on a trail is automatically going to go up in value once the trail is done and they start building it. Anything more than that, just Google Joe Louis Greenway and everything on it going to pop up. You're going to have to do some homework and read. Or it has to pass a VA appraisal. Oh, I don't know nothing about VA loans. I didn't mean to type it. I was asking the list of up and coming neighborhoods. I always post on my story sometimes like the zip codes, but if you want to know exactly what's about to happen, you want to pay me for that. Because I done did the research, done did the work. Like I'm not giving that away for free. Land bank ain't worth it. I personally do land bank houses, but I've rehabbed them and I'm also a GC, but I'm with you. You better off spending the $30,000 and buying something in better condition that only need cosmetics, that just need a kitchen and a bathroom or something like that. I was trying to ask, do you offer services to help? Oh yeah, of course. I have a consultation link in my bio. I do consultations. Now, if you want me to find you a house that's in these up and coming neighborhoods, that's 10 grand per house. You are saying it will cost 300K. What is the cost? Yeah, I've been in houses that cost 300K to rehab, especially the ones that cousins done took everything. And if they done took the bricks off the house and I gut the house, what y'all think gonna happen to the house? It might fall because the only thing that's holding up them outside walls is wood, 100-year-old wood. No problem. Let me see. Any questions over here? Yeah, that was over off Elmhurst and Broad Street. Oh, that was a good neighborhood. That was recently 14. But you got a deal then. You can get a demo for 14,000. They did what they were supposed to do. Shoot, nothing wrong with that. So no fixer uppers, pretty much. Well, Glory, if you in Detroit, you need to go and buy Balfour and then pass all city inspections. I got all my city of acceptance letters. The only thing I need to do when the weather break, I don't have to paint because if you buy it as is, you gonna paint. But I gotta put the window trim on the windows because I don't want to put it on there with doors on there because it's gonna bend it because it's aluminum. And I gotta replace one glass block window. That's it. Oh, and patch all the holes around the windows where dogs was at. I use the VA loan for my personal home. Ray Ray and them, for sure. My brother's name is Ray Ray. Not to mention if the water line is cut. Thanks. You're welcome. Is it a duplex? Nope, it's a single family. It's 4 beds, 2 baths. I brought the laundry upstairs, but it's not a duplex. The one that is the two that's a duplex, they still got it in the rehab pipeline. What do you think about container homes? I like the concept. I like that it's quick. It's gonna be faster than stick bill. I like that it's still so not here, but like somewhere that gets like hurricanes and stuff. I think that's a very good idea. I mean, nothing is God proof, but it could always start. Hawkeye don't start back. But I like them though. I'm studying them now. Hopefully, I'll be building one this year, doing my first one. How much to told you about the Joe Louis Greenway? I'll drop my link in the comments and then just click on schedule. And I got different prices like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. And then just click on schedule. But I'm not doing consultation for the Joe Louis Greenway just yet because I'm still mapping out my personal plan. And then once I map out my plan, then I share it with people who pay for it because this is what I'm doing. So the no, but if you want me to like find you something that's exactly in that area, that's 10 grand. Oh, ain't nothing wrong with collecting rent. I love the first. First is awesome. Y'all got any more comments or concerns? This was cool though. This was a good conversation. I'm gonna drop the link again in the chat if anybody wants to come on. And shout out to those who sent donations to the church building fund. You are appreciated. If nobody told you today, you are important. So that's the link to the to join on. Where do you get new bricks? Are they the same quality as the old bricks? I don't think so. Them old bricks they still holding up. But I understand why people steal bricks because if you doing a house, it's hard to match new brick with old brick. You can blend it like the fire damage house we doing on. We rebuilt the front porch because he just wanted to extend it. There was nothing wrong. He wanted to extend it. So lucky for him, my house, Big Orange, when we rebuilt the porches when they fell in, my brick got he cold. So he took those bricks off that porch, cleaned them up, salvaged them, and used them to rebuild the face of the porch. But the whole porch wasn't brick. We did a regular block and then did the face and brick. So we had like a pallet of bricks left over that's still inside of my property to this day. So whenever I have a house that's that color, we go to that pallet and blend them in. So that's what he did, and it blended in perfect with the new brick and the old brick. But I don't know about the quality. I'm gonna ask my dad. He's a retired brick mason. He'll know. I'm gonna ask him. I'm not sure because a lot of these old Detroit houses got brick basement walls, brick foundations. Like that's how I know the age of a Detroit house. If it got a brick foundation, that's 100-year-old house automatically. Cause they didn't start doing block till maybe the 40s. I think 40s or 50s. Let me see. Oh, again, for those who just tuned on, this dope hoodie is in Detroit We Trust, because we do all day, every day. What up, though? Sponsored by the Detroit Fresh Shop. Use code Lady Contractor to get 10% off. Yeah, they steal them. They steal them to use on their own property to blend them in, to pave them a nice little brick walkway, driveway, build them a fire pit. I mean, sell them. I'm excited about you getting into container construction. I want to add on my commercial building on Van Dyke. That's what's up, Miss Gloria. But yeah, that's the next phase for me because Detroit, eventually every house in Detroit is going to be either torn down, that's bad, or rehab, right? So I'm already 10 years ahead. When Detroit gonna get there, I don't know. But they are doing currently, I'm gonna do a video. Around the corner from me, I posted this last year that Mista is funding a $300,000 project to see how 3D printing houses stand up in Detroit winters. They building it around the house, the corner from me. This is the ugliest house I've ever seen, but I guess it don't matter because it's just for study purposes. This junk is ferocious. It look like an old uh Jackson, Mississippi row house. That's exactly what it look like to me. So look, they doing it to see how it stands up, and if it works, they're going to start doing 3D printed houses in the city to help with the affordable housing crisis. Because Detroit hasn't really had an affordable housing crisis yet, but it is coming. Average rent in Detroit is what, $1,200-$1,500 right now, which is crazy. And that's not downtown, that's in the neighborhoods now. So yeah. They also are in talks of passing a memorandum or moratorium or law or whatever to either get rid of or raise. I think it's to get rid of the cap on rent. Rachel might know more of this than me because she's also a licensed broker. But I remember reading about it a couple weeks ago. So if that happens, it's OV for Detroiters. It's over. If they get it to where we can raise the rent and there's no market cap, it's over. It's over. I tell everybody, you might not want to live in Detroit, but you should buy in Detroit right now. So when you do want to come back, you can afford to come back because you already bought. Because it's about to be a whole lot of renters. I think we are still. I don't know if I think we majority renters still for the first time. I think that came out a couple years ago. Like ever, Detroit used to be 70-80% homeowners. Now I think we're down to like Rachel probably know. I don't know the percentage, but it ain't that high no more. Place a cap, thank you. So they trying to take it to where they take it, from what I read, or either they in talks of it. So if it's being brought up, that ain't a good sign. But yeah, I'm getting into containers. So my plan is the lot that I own on the east side, behind Big Red. Once I do Big Red, I'm gonna pull the money out and do my own container home so I can learn and do. I'd rather practice on my own stuff than somebody else's house. I fortunately had clients who believe in me so much who would allow me to practice on their house. I just don't personally feel comfortable doing something I've never done, especially on that level to where you give me $500,000 check and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like when I looked it up, it don't look that hard, but I've been talking to Three Squared. They trying to partner with me with a seasoned, container builder so I can learn. And then, I think if I just go to a site and see it done, and then I can film it, and I got something to personally study, that'll help me tremendously because I'm visual and you know non-visual when it comes to learning. Yeah, new construction. Where is that? I don't know if it's. I wonder if it's easier to get loans or lending for new construction. I would assume so. Do I go to Flint? I go wherever my check gonna clear. But I'm gonna charge you more money because that's more gas, that's more time. It take me 45 minutes to get to Flint, hour with traffic. Same for my team, so it's gonna cost a little bit more money. But yeah, I go wherever that bread at. St. Louis is like that. I have property there that needs rehab. Yep. And if y'all really think about it, every black city that's by water has been gentrified or is becoming gentrified. Because remember, they put us all, well, the ghettos was originally for uh, people coming over here, like the Polish, and stuff like that. And then when we came to Great Migration, then we took over the ghettos. But everything by water been gentrified. Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland getting gentrified, they by water. Oakland in California. I forgot what part of New York is off water. I don't know if that's Harlem or whatever because I don't know much about New York other than y'all got some big rats. And y'all get on my nerves, but other than that, yeah. Every major city that cause you gotta remember they put us by water and now they taking us away from the water. If you really think about it. Brooklyn, thank you. They just raised the rent market rate to allow for multifamily building. The rates were so low it wasn't feasible to invest in large scale multifamily. Okay, thank you. I knew it was something I was reading. They was talking about raising it. I can't wait until you learn container home. I have a lot on Gratiot close to downtown. I want to make it my storefront. Man, when I learned it, it's a wrap. It is a wrap. Cause that junk fast. Like the research I've done, that junk is fast. The hardest part here is gonna be the cure process for your foundation. So in a perfect world for me, from April 1st to like November 1st, I'm pouring nothing but concrete slabs. I'm building all my foundation because the weather gonna be Gucci. We good to go. So once it get cold, gonna drop that SOB on top of that foundation and we rocking and rolling. So we can do that in the winter. But man, like y'all just gonna see 100 slab. And then we just gonna drop our houses on top, boom, and start connecting and getting it. Like I've like seeing it on video is cool, but I gotta see it in person. Like a couple years ago when I was in Philly We drove to I forgot what town. We had to go through like Amish town. They had like buggies and everything. I'm like, wow, they really on the horse and the buggy. And we in the car behind them going 2 miles an hour. But I digress. But 'cause we got Amish here too, so but I don't think it's that bad unless that's further up north. But anywho, and then we went to this modular home plant. I think the video on my YouTube. I probably got to post it on Instagram. And just to see that getting built like a house, that boy was like straight like a car getting built at the GM plant, dog. Like that junk was sweet. Like prefab and modular and stuff. There's just so much new stuff out here. But I can't wait to learn it either. We gonna learn it together. Cause when I do my own one, I'm just gonna film everything and probably make it a course too. New construction is a little hard in the city because you got to get variety on a lot to build decent size house or buy two lots side by side. I believe that. But see, here our zoning laws are a little more favorable, and if you can get it approved, they'll let you build up and back. So your front probably got to be a certain size, but you can probably go up and back. I don't know. We're gonna learn this together. Are you interested in a new container contractor or any of your projects? Always. I got a couple rules though. So my main rule ain't no smoking on my job site, weed, dope, cigarettes, cause I got asthma and that's just not a good look. Cause that junk get in the house and ain't no smoking. Uh, do what you say you're gonna do. I pay with a business check only. You have to fill out a W-9 form because you're getting a 1099 at the end of the year. You have to sign a contractor liability form, which means if you know that you ain't supposed to be up on no ladder because your back messed up and you fall down and break your back again, you ain't suing me or the homeowner. I'm sorry that you hurt, but that's not my fault. Lenders don't like container or manufactured homes. I don't know. You probably just got to find that lender. I think Detroit lenders will do it because it's something new and it's gonna help. You can make a whole neighborhood in Detroit. We got that much vacant land to where you can do your own damn subdivision. I think it'll be good here. Don't worry, New York loves you back. Right. What part of Detroit should we invest in? All of it. Let me see. What other questions we got? But yeah, I'm definitely always interested in new contractors. Just do your job. Do what you say you're gonna do. That's all I care about. But every time I try out new people, it don't work, and then it just make me stick to what I got. I really just turn down work and stick to my people, where I can be doing stuff like this or traveling and speaking, and ain't got to worry about stuff at home. Unfortunately, I've had to fire people that had been with me. Some people out we just outgrew each other. I ain't camera shy, madam. I'm on the camera on YouTube. Come to YouTube and on my business page. But if y'all got no more questions for me, I'm gonna leave because this was a really dope live. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who sent in Cash App donations. God gonna bless you today. If y'all out for St. Patty's Day, be safe, be careful. If you don't have a little too much the drink, make sure you get in that Uber or that Lyft or call somebody to come get you or stay where you at and sleep it off. We got a question. How should people vet contractors? Go see their work if they got something going on. Pictures is cool because it makes you want to go see the work, but pictures can be stolen, Photoshop, whatever. Make sure they have insurance, general liability. At least if it's a one-man team, make sure they at least got I don't know what the minimum is that you can give them. I'm gonna say at least 50 to 100,000. Make sure I don't say make sure they licensed because I know some hell of contractors who ain't licensed. And I know contractors who is licensed that's piss poor trash. I'm gonna say go with your gut feeling. If something don't feel right, don't do it. That's with anything. If they say they pulled a permit, make them prove to you that they pulled a permit. They should be able to show you the actual permit, or you can call down there and put. I tell all my clients call and make sure I pulled the permit. I don't care because I know what I did. Do I put my properties in the land trust? I will. I will be. All my stuff about to be in the trust. When we get a property to invest in, where do we contact you? My link's in the bio for Instagram and on YouTube. The link is in the comments, but it's distantconstructionservices.com and dcsllc.pro. The .pro when it was easier to put on cards when I first started, And then I bought this at constructionservices.com because I remember when I think it was Trump was running for office or Bush, one of them, whoever it was. I think it was Trump. He bought whoever was running against him a name like as a domain, and I was like, let me go buy this construction service right now. Did you charge more than regular contractors? Probably. Do you? I charge according to RS means, which is the nationwide code book for not code, but nationwide book of pricing for contractors. I'm off the 2014 book. Every year I add 10% to my price to adjust for inflation and prices and stuff. Um, I charge just like that contractor that don't look like me out of nowhere. Actually, I'm cheaper than them because I've been in some houses that so the same work and they was 2 3 times higher than me. Um, what else can I say about that? I'm higher than the average black contractor because I know my worth. I know what my crew can do. So you get what you pay for. Like you ain't gotta choose me. I don't care who you go with. Just whoever you pick, they better know what the hell they doing. Because if you called me first and then went with somebody else and then called me back, I'm gonna tax you. You gonna learn a valuable lesson. My YouTube is my company name, Denson, DEN, D as in David, because my D's be sounding like B's. ENSON Construction Services. It's right, Rachel. It's a skill set. So people kill me going to Home Depot and they see that an electrical switch costs $1, right? And they wonder, well, why are you charging me $150 to put in the switch? Okay, well, there's wires that come with that switch that have to be paid for. There is a cover plate that goes with that switch that has to be paid for. And most importantly, the competent person that's putting in said switch so your house doesn't burn down to a crisp is really what's getting paid for. So any contract that you get from a contractor, 30% of that is probably materials. The other 70 is their profit and labor. Just like you go to work at said plant or White Castle and work and you expect to get paid every Friday or every other Friday or once a month, however you get paid for the services you provided, why the hell should I get paid for the services I provided? The only people who question me charging the estimate fee is people that look like me. I'm the only ones. I have to put gas in my truck to come visit this house. Gas to fill up Big Black is between $60 and $75, depending on if I fill up in the city or if I go to Sam's Club. There's maintenance on this truck from all this driving I do every day, going to look on projects and go to your estimate. There's a car payment that goes along with this truck that has to be paid for. There's insurance that has to be paid for. I'm supposed to just pay that? That don't make sense. Why not? It's hard working materials ain't cheap no more. Period. Every time, Rachel. Every time. I think I answered that about the land trust. How do you feel about investing in Flint? I don't know nothing about Flint. I know Flint, GM about to put a plant up there. They about to do something up there they announced a couple weeks ago. Either I don't remember what type, either they putting a plant there or they about to rehab a plant. It's something big happening. I do think Flint was all is because the people with Flint don't look like they look like us, so that's why what happened in Flint happened. The city of Detroit tried to help Flint. Flint turned the city of Detroit down before it got that bad. They was like, look, we only gonna charge y'all $100 a day to tap into our city tap to help with y'all issue, to avoid y'all issue. They turned it down. I just read the other day in the Crane that Snyder, he free of all charges, which is crazy. He should be in prison. That should be whatever the highest class of a felony in crimes against humanity. He should be in jail for that. Period. I don't care. He should be in jail for that. I do think something major is going to eventually happen in Flint because Flint is right next to Grand Block, which is pretty dope. Suburban, like a suburb of Flint, I guess. I ain't been to Flint in years. I mean, I just have no reason to go up there. I went up there and looked at houses for clients. Like they just hadn't paid me to go up there and take pictures because Flint ain't but 45 minutes to an hour. But Flint cheap. I don't know if it's still as cheap as it was when the lead issue first happened, but it's cheap. But Snyder needs to be in jail. That should be crimes against humanity. Was that war crimes or something like that? That should be a war crime. If they are haggling with you about the price, they will be the most difficult customer. If they haggling me about why I charge for an estimate, they gonna be difficult. If you get on my nerves in any type of way, and I ain't even went and put a nail in your house, you gonna get on my nerves. Have a great day. Cause I've learned this is my thing. Construction is my passion. I really love and enjoy what I do. My passion should not stress me. So if you are causing any type of stress in my passion, you must go. I remember a lady a couple years ago cussed me clean out because we was late because we was at Home Depot getting materials, which I told her that we was late because of that. Because it was crowded at the protest and they couldn't call me yet to do the phone sale. So, and I hadn't paid my subs yet. So she just going off me, calling me all type of bees and hoes. Old black woman too, probably like in her 60s or something. Man, why you so mean? You ain't got no family that loves you. But anyway, when she cussed me out, I was like, ma'am, this ain't gonna work. I wrote a check, sent it certified mail with her sign and a return receipt, mail her all her money back. I called my crew, told them to leave. I was like, what I owe y'all for the day? They was like, just give us some gas money and some food, lunch, Gucci, $100 cool a piece. Yup. Gave everybody $100, gave that woman her money back. She was pissed. Because one thing I learned about people, they don't expect you to give you their money back. Because they think, oh, I done paid for this. I own you. You don't own nothing over here. You don't own nothing. So here's your money back, ma'am. Have a great life. Now what you gonna complain about? You can't say I stole your money because I gave it back. And then I sent a check on purpose because that proves when you cash it, now I got proof. So let me download this image showing that you cashed it. Are you aware they're turning the old airport to an aviation school on the east side? Yep. And that little neighborhood over there has always been nice. It's all nice brick houses. There's still a lot of older people over there. It's nice. One of my clients just bought a house on Runyon. It ain't nothing but old people over there. They got that new park. It's real nice. Very nice. What is my fee to go to Flint? Double whatever my current fee is. So my price is what, 260? What's that, 320? No, four. What's that? Oh, right. 420. 520. So 260 times two. So I go to Flint for that. I go to Pontiac for that. Hell, I've been to Chicago for clients. They gave me like $2,000 though to go to Chicago. Chicago ain't nothing but a 4 or 5 hour drive, or I can take the train for about $100 round trip. But with all this derailment, no thank you right now. But I done been to Chicago looking stuff for people. Ohio. For me to leave the state, you give me $2,000. If it's somewhere I can drive real quick, you give me 2 stacks. Period. Cause I'm gonna go stay a night or two, especially if it's Chicago, cause I got friends there from college. Oh, I'm kicking it. I'm gonna leave Thursday, come back Sunday, give me a nice room downtown. I'm kicking it. Show can't add. I'm like 20 something. Like I think it's 520, but I had to do the math on some paper to make sure. Like, hold on. Pontiac. I got a client who killing in the Pontiac. He been say so he bought so Pontiac is in I don't know if that's Wayne County. It's either Wayne or Oakland County. But I know in the auction, this was my first lender, which is my boy to this day. He took a equity line of credit out of his house in San Francisco, which was like $1 million, and he came to Detroit and cleaned up. He bought like 50 houses in the auction. This was back in 2017, because this is when I did my first turnkey flip on McCormick. And he was buying it. I was like, why you buying in Yanktown? He was like, shoot, Section 8 pay good out there. And he was doing really nice rehab. Like he was putting granite countertop and stuff in there. He was getting like $1,200-1,500 a month. So Pontiac is great. Like I ain't never did no work in Pontiac, but I got clients who buy out there all day. They fixing and flipping out there and doing rentals. Don't apologize for running your business. You put the time into educate your work. Thank you, Queen's Gambit. Matter of fact, send me a DM. You get a free ebook. Tell me which one you want. 560 just to go there and look at the house. 560 to go look at it, give you an estimate. If you want pictures, that's more money. If you want camera with drone footage, that's more money because I gotta pay the camera guy to come. Or I gotta take pictures on my phone and upload the Dropbox, and Dropbox costs $200 a year. If Flint is so close, does the water issue flow down to Detroit? No, because see the thing with the Flint issue, they we had offered Flint I think it was $100 a day to tap into our water because Detroit got some of the best water. We got fresh water. We got the Detroit River. if y'all from the Coleman Young era, if you an 80s baby and 70s baby, early 90s baby, you know Coleman Young was like, whatever y'all do, Detroit them get the water up. That's why all that happened to Kwame, because Kwame wasn't playing with them. He wasn't giving the water up. And now we have the Great Lakes Water Authority. That's a whole nother topic. But to my knowledge, it don't affect Detroit. Detroit is constantly updating our sewer system because Detroit has some of the oldest pipes because we're an old city. I used to be a highway engineer, and I remember being on the water cruise and digging up them old pipes. And them old pipes is made out of straight wood. That's what they had 100+ years ago. Straight wood pipes. But yeah, 560 to go. One of my clients wanted me to look at a house in Saginaw he was about to buy. He paid me, he cashed at me $1,200. I'm like, yeah, I'll go to Saginaw. That's what, an hour and a half. Hell, the apple orchards up there, I made that a whole field trip. On the way back, I stopped at the apple orchards, got me some fresh cider and donuts, walked around, played with nature. Like, I made it a field trip. He cast at me that. He was like, can you go today? I sure can. Absolutely. And I been at the house for him, took pictures, everything, FaceTime when I got there, the whole shebang. Yeah, Pontiac is Oakland County. I wasn't sure. Yeah, the city airport is on the east side. That's like Connor wants to turn into Outer Drive and Gratiot, right up in that little pocket. Did they fix the pipes in Flint? I think they still working on it. I remember a black lady had got the contract. It was like $150 million contract. I was so proud of her. I didn't even know her, but I thought that was dope. I don't know if they fixed, but they fix it. They fixing it. Last I heard, but they not fixing what's in the house. They just fixing what coming to the house, and then I think you're responsible for the pipes that's in the house. But I guess you can be straight once it's fixed. But if you got old galvanized pipe in your house, you need that to go on anyway. That junk full of all type of gunk. Copper better, or PEX. Let me see what else. I got some more questions. We got 10 minutes. This was a dope live. So next month topic, well, it's gonna be on the 21st, I think. Let me see. I think it's 21st. Yeah, the 21st is the next one. I gotta log into my thing and see what the topic is, but I don't remember. The topic next month is new Michigan construction codes, so that'll be dope. The topic in May is gonna be why you shouldn't buy a land bank house. That's gonna be good. And then people that I know bought land bank houses who got their houses took, I'm gonna see if they're willing to come on. Probably not. Or that actually finished land bank houses. We could have both sides, so we can have devil's advocate here. That'd be good. So if you are one of those people, shoot me a DM or an email, and then you can come on the show. We can talk about it. I think that'd be dope. June 16th topic is review your deal. So if you got a deal you looking at, you can come on the show, send me the link or whatever it is, and we'll go over it live on air. July's topic is how to fund your deals. In August, we always do the Wayne County tax auction because that's in September and October. Then we're going to go over new developments, end of the year, review your deal again in October, and then do a recap of the tax auction in November. I missed the beginning of your live. Are fire damaged homes easier to restore than land bank? It depends. It depends on how much fire is to the project. If I got to do a full gut, it still might be cheaper than the land bank. Because the land bank's determined on how long the house been sitting vacant and what all y'all cousins done stole. That determines it. Miss Gloria says she thinks land bank is cheaper. It just depends. It depends on what all required. Because if it's a bad fire, you got to rebuild rafters. Hell, you can have to rebuild rafters in the land bank house. If that foundation, the house done shifted on the land bank house because it done set so long, like I don't know. Oh, Miss Keisha said she finished hers and she purchased the one next door she worked. Well, good for you. Congratulations. If you want to, so hopefully you be on here the month we do the land bank house and you can come on here and talk about it. I'd love to hear your story. Like, it's not impossible. I just don't recommend them if you're a first time Detroit investor, especially if you're out of state. You are going to stress the hell out of me about this house. Now, if you wanted the few and far between who was the first time and they hired me, and you ain't get on my nerves, then that's cool. But some just I don't know. I just don't recommend it if you're a first timer. Now, if you live here, maybe it'd be a little better for you because you here, you can go check on your property every day. You ain't gonna be stressing me out as much. But I do rehab land bank houses. You got some contractors who won't even touch a land bank house. This has been awesome. I'm glad I started following you. Thank you, Miss. I'm not gonna say her first name because I don't want to tear it up, but I can say Nose, Miss Nose. I think you a Miss. Not sure because I'm not sure about your first name because that could be a girl or a boy name. Yep, Connor and Grashard. And if you're a real Detroiter, y'all know Out of Drive turns in about 17 streets. It turns into Chandler Park Drive. If you come from the east side, it turns into Connor. A little bit of Grashard. When you're on the west side, I know it turned into Vassar. And I forgot what else. Oh, you the same person on YouTube? Big Baby 616? 616, that's Grand Rapids, ain't it? Is it just cheaper to tear down the land bank homes and build new? I think it might cost you the same, but at least if you build new, you got a new house. And all your walls will be straight. I'm not sure because I've never been in new construction because I've never done new construction other than in carpentry school. But I would think so. I would think so. Now I know containers cost a little more than stick build. Why I'm not sure, but I like the concept of containers. I like that it's faster. I'm Chicago, but yeah, 616 is somewhere in Michigan. Yeah, it's I think it's Grand Rapids, G Rap. Let's see what else. Somebody say. Oh, she said no, not at all. Like I'm not sure. Land bank got the bottom of the barrel at this point. Yeah, all the good houses the land bank had when it first started, them is gone. OV. That was when it first started. They hadn't been sitting vacant but maybe 5 years. Your cousin still stole stuff. They hadn't stole everything. Your pipe's gonna be gone. Anything that's copper, galvanized that can be sold or recycled and they do by the weight, that's gone. But yeah, it's like crumbs left now. If you get lucky and find a diamond in the rough, you better hold on to God's unchanging hand. We did one that said vacant for 20. That's what I'm saying. Like the one that I posted on IG the other day, y'all, with the brick stove. It had a sign in there that said this house was winterized something 2006. I'm like, that's 17 years ago. I had just graduated from Jackson State in 2006. Like, that's crazy. Still standing though, even with the bricks gone. So that tell you that them for good structures. 2300 on 4th Street. Oh, that's nice. So y'all got anything else? We got 4 minutes. This was a dope live, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Thank y'all for tolerating Hawkeye. He over there growling now. He probably I feed him at 9, so he probably ready to eat. They still gonna steal stuff. Except that facts. They ain't gonna steal them brick shingles and that asphalt stuff. They gonna take bricks. Anything that can be sold is gone. Long as they don't move in, because that's worse than stealing. Long as they don't move in and start squatting and now you gotta get the sheriff involved or go through the eviction court and not evict them. I'm cool. I'm cool. What are the requirements to become a GC in Michigan? I have a video on YouTube that explains it. Now the video is from when I got my license in 2012. I'll be licensed 13 years this year. That's crazy. But I don't think nothing's changed. If anything, I'm not sure. I can just go off when I got it, but you can't have no felonies. You gotta have good credit. At least back then you did. You gotta take a class, 60 hours, then you gotta take the test. You get licensed as a qualifying officer, like Asia Denson has a license, and then Denson Construction has a license. That's 200 a pop, so that was 400. What it costs now, I don't know. After you hit, I think when I hit 8 years or 10 years, I didn't have to keep doing continuing education every 3 years. Now I just got to pay the fine. So I renew again 2024. We had a squatter police put that, yeah. But I think they changed the squatter law. Cause I think before it used to be hard to put somebody get a squatter out, but now I think it ain't no problem. This is what I tell all my clients: if you know somebody squatting in your house or you about to do eviction, you better make sure your insurance on point. Make sure you got fire protection. Cause I done seen some stuff. They know they about to get put out, they will set your house ablaze. Now if you got insurance, that's fine. Cause you're gonna get a nice check and you're gonna tear down and build new, or tear down to keep your lot, or repair what's needed, and that be that. But make sure your insurance is on point. Like my client who just bought a deal from me, it had a tenant that had been in there like 4 years, ain't paying no rent. I was like, before you start this eviction process, call my insurance guy. And they did, got the policy, and I proceed. In case he wanna act a fool, you gonna get a check. And you next door to me, but I got insurance, so we both gonna get paid. Because your insurance will have to pay for the damage to my property too. Yeah, go on and renew that insurance now. They put squatters straight out. I think the sheriff come. I don't know if the police come and the sheriff or just one or the other. I would love to be, if somebody know they got a eviction coming up and with the police got to come, the sheriff call me so I can come record that, because that's good footage. That's how the Shay Show got jumping. All right, y'all, it's 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. This was a really, really dope live. Everybody who's in the Cash App, thank you again. The good Lord is gonna bless you. Thank you for donating to the church building fund. We appreciate you over here. Next month we will be back on the third Friday, the 21st, 7 o'clock. The topic again is all the new Michigan codes or just Michigan building codes in general. I got some more ebooks I'm working on coming out soon. I just gotta sit still and do them. I'm actually finishing up my taxes. Also, if you are a licensed CPA in the state of Michigan, your specialty is construction, real estate development, please reach out to me, because I had to fire my CPA because she didn't know what she was doing. And luckily for me, I know accounting because I took accounting at the Martin Luther King Jr. Senior High School here in Detroit, and I always keep up with my stuff. A quick story: I had bid on the city contract, had become one of the finalists to do the contract, and when it came to the background check, I passed everything and I couldn't get city clearance because this fool did not file city of Detroit income taxes. So I had to get that fixed and pay from 2018 to 2021 because I ain't filed 2022 yet. I got all that cleared up, so now I can start bidding on future stuff. But before I do that, I want to get me a new CPA because she got to go. And of course, she looked like me. And she was from out of state. So if you're an out of state CPA person, I suggest that you definitely learn this, the laws in the new state you're going to, because that was stupid. That's like me doing construction in another state, trying to do stuff the Michigan way, and that's a whole nother state. Y'all codes ain't the same as ours. However, we got a harder GC or license requirements anyway, to where our license is reciprocated in a lot of other places because we got harder, stricter laws. But I digress. But yeah, if you a licensed certified public accountant in Michigan, I want somebody local, so where if I got an issue, I can go to your office. Like it had got bad because she wasn't responding to me, to where I had to I was about to sue her. I sent her an email like, if I don't hear from you by end of business, I will be on the next plane to Baltimore with a letter serving you saying that you about to meet me in court. Because if I got to pay somebody to clean up what you messed up, plus, and I already done paid you, you gonna give me that money back and some. But she cleaned it up. So she uploaded everything to the portal yesterday. So I'm gonna check it this weekend and make sure, and that be that. But yeah. And then I had referred a lot of other subcontractors to her, and they stuff was all messed up too. So she fixing all that stuff too. Cause I was like, I hate to be that one, but I was gonna be on the next Delta plane to Baltimore servicing you. Like, forget having the servicing company serve you. I was gonna personally hand deliver this lawsuit to you and record it with my camera producer. You can't say I never got it. Here you go. See you in court in Michigan. But yeah, if you're a licensed CPA in Detroit or Michigan, I don't care, because I got a truck, I'll drive there. Let me know. But yeah, you gotta have city clearances when you being on city work. You gotta get a state clearance, you gotta get a city clearance. You can't have no I think you can have back tax, but you gotta be on the payment plan with the city for city work. So yeah, that's how I found out. But I digress. Oh yeah, I wanted to fight, dog, but I got too much to lose. Like I was pissed. Like, and I had been blowing her personal phone up, the office phone, emails. When I sent that email saying that if I don't get a response by the end of it today, the next email will be from my attorney, and I will be on the next plane hand deliver you a letter. She personally called me then. I was like, now why I gotta go north end on you to get a response? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be professional. I've been reaching out to you for like 3 weeks, and you just not responding because I threatened to sue. And she called apologetic, explaining what happened. I don't need no explanation. Fix my stuff, or we going to court. And then the new CPA that I was trying out of New York don't like her because I don't like y'all New York people. You're not gonna overtalk me. You're not gonna try to force anything on me that I didn't ask for. I keep telling you no respectfully. You keep trying to do it. So she had to go. So she was like, "Well, you signed a contract, and you got to give me a 60-day notice." Well, today, March 1st, is my 60-day notice, and you still better do what you was paid to do in these 60 days, or I'll be suing you too. People be trying me. I don't understand. Oh, real quick, are there any neighborhoods near water that we still have a chance of person in? No. 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 Well, maybe kind of Creek, but no, because that's east side. I don't think so. Harbor Village, nope. Harbor Village is crazy high because your backyard is the river. Morgan Waterfront Estates, them $1 million houses now. Yeah, I know Miss Business personally, so I was gonna reach out to her and see if she know about like construction because I really want a construction CPA because of the type of write-offs we have in real estate and development. Now I don't know if she knows that or not, but I'm gonna reach out to her too. But I really kind of want somebody local that I can just pull up on and we can have a meeting and go over my books. New York got in this because the second CPA is from New York, and then that fool from New York the other day. Well, I ain't gonna say a fool because I don't know anybody's incompetence to call them a fool, but that person. Great info. Yeah, but thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all again for all the donations and stuff. Yeah, I think we done. All right, y'all. Deuces. Uh-oh. Why can't you end my live? There we go. Discard, discard.
If you need something quick and easy for dinner, try the.
Why that keep popping up? All right, YouTube. Oh yeah, that ship has sailed. Was that response to Miss Gloria? Was what response to Miss Gloria? About the CPA stuff? Oh, the water stuff? Oh, that was to you, Miss Keisha. I don't think so. As far as water properties, like a lot of them is gone. Like Connor Creek is over there off Jefferson and Connor. That little park that everybody from the plant be kicking it at. It's a real nice low key park. That's by the water. It might still be some cheap stuff over there, but I don't think it's as cheap as it used to be. I'm not really sure. That zip code is I think that's 4215 because I used to live over there. Yo, but Waterfront Morgan Estates is very beautiful. But the cheapest thing over there is probably 300,000. If you want the ones right on the water, I think them $1 million or more. But in Waterfront Morgan Estates is a black development too. It's a black developer who did those. They are beautiful. They is nice, nice. Yeah, Rachel, it was crazy, but that shit for sure sale. Ship. But yeah, thank y'all. So I'm about to feed Hawkeye. And enjoy y'all Friday. Be safe out here, please, Detroit, or wherever you are, because I know it ain't Patty's Day weekend, because it ain't going to be just today. It's going to be the whole weekend. People going to be out drinking and stuff. Or if you the one out there drinking, be safe. Get an Uber, get a Lyft. Have a DD with you, a designated driver. I'd rather you walk than drive. So just be safe, y'all. Deuces.